Hey, how are you? Have a seat, have a seat. I missed you last week. Where were you? You're not looking too hot. I usually can tell. I got my pad here. Talk to me. Why didn't you show up last week? You're always here. And if you're not, you typically call. You didn't even call. I was a little concerned because I know you don't have a great support system outside of here, outside of the clinic in general. All right, let me just write that down. So that feeling that you've told me about in the past is creeping back up worse now, and you've been feeling depressed. Things don't feel right. You feel like you're starting to spiral out of control a little bit. It's not good. Did you take walks? I know you said you like to take walks when you're not feeling right. Did you do that? All right, that's good. Now, were you also getting any panic, anxiety on top of this? On top of these feelings? Because I know sometimes, they don't always go hand in hand. You were. Did you do breathing exercises? You gotta do those breathing. I'm telling you, those breathing exercises, as stupid as it sounds, a couple of just. A couple of those, I'm telling you. It helps. It's not going to sit here and you're not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. But it can kind of ground you a little bit and get you kind of started. I'm telling you, got to do them. Another thing I've not mentioned yet, but I think you should try some meditation. I could point you to some good books. I might even have one here I can give you. You can take it. There's some YouTube channels as well. You just type in meditation, you'll find some stuff there. I'm telling you, this is another thing that helps. Similar to the walking, you get into your zone, helps you clear your mind. You just kind of try to flush out the stuff. It's very hard to flush out of the awful feelings. It is. It's tough. It takes a lot of things. It takes time, repetition, just a lot to kind of get over that. And it's never truly gone. So many people deal with it, right? But it can be hard. And I know you talk about the dissociation and stuff like that as well. Bad combinations. Exactly, I'm telling you, take yourself a nice long walk on top of some meditation, just calming, breathing exercises. Did you do things to also keep your mind off of it? I know you talk about it. You listen to some music, throw on a show, play a game, just things that your mind can now focus on that, especially like a video game. You go into these worlds and you're just playing, and you kind of forget what's going on. I know a lot of people, especially who have anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and stuff. They kind of do that. It's comforting. A certain game, a show, a movie, whatever it may be, certain music. You get in there and you jump into this world and you're just playing a character. You're just doing it and you're not focused. It's taking your focus away from the anxiety attack. I know sometimes it's like, oh wow, but you've admitted yourself it works sometimes, and you do it sometimes. I mean, I tell people to do it, especially if they're into video games. You throw on a game you like. These big games, some of these games are huge now. You're going into this world, you're just kind of running around. You don't even need to even do any of these missions or anything. You're just running around and you're like taking a virtual walk almost, And so maybe if you're not up to walking one day, throw it on, you do a virtual walk, kind of just, you know, anything to take your mind away from it. Now, it's not a permanent fix, obviously, but it helps you get back on track, and then you can kind of take the steps. How have those night classes been going? You can't be skipping those. I mean, you were really excited about learning about that stuff. Those, was it computer repair and stuff like that? Taking you, you said you were super into it, taking apart these things and fixing them for people. You can't be missing them. A, it's costing you money. But B, I think that's something that could help you lead away. Like, why did you miss them? It's just getting a little overwhelming. It's understandable, obviously. How have you been eating and drinking? Well, that's good. Now, sometimes, eating certain foods or certain drinks will also can trigger things as well in your brain. Work has been all right, though. I know you said you were doing the part-time thing, and you're taking the classes still as well. Well, don't feel like you're stuck. That's the thing. You don't want to feel like you're stuck in this part-time thing, and maybe you get a full-time thing, and you're not feeling satisfied from it. So take these. You say you always talk about this computer stuff, not even just the repairing part of it, the programming part of it and stuff. I'm not good with any of that shit. All right, pardon my French. But yeah, you enjoy it. Don't let you can't. I know sometimes it's hard because the feelings will, the depression and just bad feelings will drain your joy of the things you do like out of you, and it's not good, right? It's never good. You can't let that happen, because if that happens consistently, you're gonna spiral. And you said you're already starting to. It starts with you're missing a few of those classes. You don't come here last week. You fall back in. Just coming here, going to that, doing the things you need to do. You have to work, you do that. Your thing. It might not necessarily be helping you, but it's keeping you busy and focused. Now, if it gets too bad, obviously it will overtake a lot of your focus, right, when you're at these places. But you go there and you see. You go there and you see, and then you'll know. Say you're at work or you're at your class or whatever, you're here and you're losing focus. Obviously here you can tell me, but and then okay, I gotta figure something out. Yeah. Listen, no, and that's the thing. I'm not gonna get on you for that, but I don't want you to fall completely out of a rhythm, because then you're gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be bad. You've been taking it? All right, good. No, I'm not going to up any dosages. I don't want to do that. I'll keep you at the lowest one. I like to, you'd love for it to just be like you can work it out, do your things, but sometimes people need a little extra help. That way, you take some medication or something. I like to give out the lower doses, because I'm not necessarily huge on just being like, okay, you need this, you need that, we'll give you this. No. It always can help, but you don't want to be reliant on it. Put it that way, right? You don't want that. So now, is that okay? You don't. All right. I just want to make sure you don't. Sometimes the higher doses of these medications also, they're detriment. Like, it will, make you just feel like crap, sluggish and everything, and not motivated. Like, then, it's good to have it like that with good techniques, things you're good, talking with people like me and stuff like that. I would like for you to go out and try to meet more people. I know it's hard. Listen, I know from personal experience it's tough. Maybe it's for someone in your class or something, because it helps having people to chat with about it and stuff. Sometimes just talking, and something, and it's different. You're talking to me is different. You're getting it out there and stuff, and it's helpful. But sometimes you're talking to a friend or a family member, loved one. It's a different feeling than talking to a professional. Obviously, it helps, and I'm here. I'm friendly with you and stuff. We know that. But sometimes it's a different vibe because you're getting. For me, I will admit, I'm here to help you. I'm not here to just be like, okay, like I said, fill a prescription, blah blah blah. Just gotta fill those prescriptions. No. But it's also, there is a thing where, yeah, I'm looking at it, I'm analyzing it more. That's it, right? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. And then we try to figure out from there while I'm still, we're still on the same friendly level. But you talk to a loved one or a friend about it, they're not analyzing you. If they're your true family and true friends, they're not going to do that. They're not going to judge you and analyze you on that front. Leave that to the professional. You got to laugh too, I'm telling you, that's another thing, man. You're feeling down like this, throw on a show you like, especially like a comedy or something. Get the laughter going. Laughter, as they say, is the best medicine. For mental health stuff, it very much can be. If you're bleeding out, laughing's not going to heal your wounds, all right? Laughter cannot replace stitches and surgery. Not yet. But when it comes to mental aspects, you're laughing, you can. When you're feeling like crap and you're down right now, you can do things to build your spirits back up. Sometimes it will just happen. I know from experience you do as well. When you have these long anxiety feelings, attacks, and you're just, all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you don't feel it anymore. But sometimes I feel like you can make that quicker instead of waiting for it just to go away on its own. The feeling to do the things you like and love. Power through, even if you're not feeling it, get out there and do it. All of a sudden it takes one little laugh, one little step of your walk, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I'm feeling. Like, say, you've told me sometimes, this has happened this time as well. You said you took a walk, but was it tough to do? That's what I'm saying. But you went out there and did it, and let me guess, as you went on the walk, you start to feel a little pep in your step. You're moving, you're clearing your mind, you're thinking, thoughts are coming out. Talk to yourself while you're walking too. Let it out however you can. Maybe not be screaming stuff in the middle of the streets, but yes, it helps, right? Yes, exactly. You do that with watching a show. You start laughing. That first, you're kind of like, oh. All of a sudden, you get that first little chuckle, and you let it. It's a good snowball effect. Boom. You're playing a game. You're kind of like, all of a sudden maybe you do take on a quest, or you're just running around, whatever you're doing. All of a sudden, you're into it. Your mind is being flooded with positive thoughts. Just as easily as the negative thoughts can flood in, positive ones can too. You can get those out of there. It's tough. Sometimes it's harder than other times, but sometimes it's what you need. Positive. Well, how long has it? When did it start? The day, 2 days after you left your last one, so it's been about 5 days. I'm sorry. You missed a week, so it's been 12 days, something like that. So you've had ups and downs. Yeah. Well, there's always going to be that. It's never just quick. But the ups and downs, I'm telling you, it helps. These things help, man. Having focus on something positive. That's the thing, right? Like, some people are in that zone forever. They don't even suffer from much stuff. There's people that they're always in a positive mindset. Or when it starts to get negative, they can analyze themselves. And some people are very in tune how to overcome things quick and analyze situations and logically get through things. A lot of people, though, it's harder to do. And it overtakes you. And there's nothing wrong with the feeling overtaking you. It's hard. The mind is endless. Everybody's mind is different, too. We need to focus on the things that you do like. We know it's the walking. You do like some games. You got to do those breathing techniques. I'm telling you, they help. It's a good release. Yes, focus on the positive. We need to get you into, and you got to get to your things, too. Unless you're, like, physically ill and stuff, even if you're not feeling it, unless you're to the point where it's so bad, your depression, you can't get out of bed, and that's never good, then you do have to call people and get people, because then it's going to get bad. Very bad. We need to get you into a routine or something. Like, you take a walk in the morning. Days you're not working, you take your walk in the morning. It's more about once you're getting to the things, when you have your obligations on days and you get to them. That's good. Sometimes it just takes getting out of the house for 2 hours. Going into town, going to some stores, anything. Interaction with people, even though if they're not your friends or family. I'm telling you, things like that can help too. Little things like that can help. We're going to try to get you into a routine. Let's try this for next week. Just start it on a couple days a week. We'll try, right? You take a walk in the morning. That's good, right? Yeah, there you go. Take a little bit of time with a video game. Do that. There you go. Do some leaves are all over the place and stuff. Yard work. Get out there in the yard. Even if you're just in the yard, do some yard work. You should start. I would say a journal. You come to me with ideas and stuff, and very creative ideas. I would suggest this. Start writing them down. Some of those little stories you have, write them down, because you never say you do. You always want to, but you don't. Write those down. Don't worry about punctuation or anything. You're not making a book here, writing a book. Write them down. Hey, maybe it turns into something, though. Do that. Half hour a day, hour a day. Write down your thoughts, the imaginative thoughts, not bad thoughts. Yeah, write that down. Spend time doing that. I know you like cooking. You've been doing some cooking. Cook something. Look up recipes. Things. Get into a groove. Try to get into a groove. Have little things to do. Take a walk. Do some writing. Play a game. This is days when you don't have your obligations. Do these things. Keep your mind focused. Take a 2-3 hour walk. Boom, I'm telling you, get into that routine like that. You get into a mode. All of a sudden, you find yourself just doing even more and more. I'm telling you, that kind of stuff helps. Absolutely does. But the obligations are first and foremost. Unless you're physically sick, or you're completely beyond depressed, and you haven't gotten to that point yet. Because you still got here. You're still taking your walks. But we don't want you to get to that point. We want you to naturally, by doing these things you need to do, get more positive thoughts in. Negative thoughts are always going to creep up. But they're creeping up too much. We want to bury those thoughts and keep focused. Positivity is key. That feeling's always going to come. And I know, like you, it will just come. You're looking at the clock or something, all of a sudden you don't feel right. But that's when you got to take action. You get out there, you take a walk, you throw on a game, you start writing. All those kind of things. But like I said, you got to get to your obligations first. Got to get to those classes because that could lead to something great for you. Yeah, those are things you need to do. And you got to get here next week. You do. Exactly. I'm cutting your deals here, You got to at least call if you can't come. And even if I talk to you for 10, 15 minutes, that could help as well. But yeah. You got to get here next week. You got to get the obligations. And get into the routine. Try this routine tomorrow. And we'll discuss next week how that's going for you. If it's not an easy process, it never is. Like I said, I don't want to up anything, dosage or anything like that. We want to do it the right way, I feel, Unless it comes to that and it's absolutely necessary. I don't feel that's the case with you yet. And I don't want it to be the case. Because I think there's great things ahead for you and stuff. So, yes, there you go. Positive thoughts right there. You're damn right. That's a great idea. You have a lot of great ideas. Write them down. It could turn into something. But for now, write it down. Just write it down. It keeps your mind on it. Then your mind starts thinking, what can I do with this story? What can happen here? Next thing you know, you're doing it for a while. Your mind's not on anything negative. And you're moving. It's keeping the bad feelings and the depression at bay. Yes. All right. Well, same time next week. Tell me how that goes. If anything, if you're feeling terrible, I think you can text, you can call. If I can't answer immediately, I will get back to you. I have in the past. Exactly. All right. Get out there. Do you walk here? Nice. There you go. What was that, about a 40-minute walk? I know sometimes you Uber here, or you bring your bike. That's also key too. And I know you don't ride a ton, but hey, riding's great too. Yeah, walking is better for the mind clearing though, because I think when you're on a bike, you have to focus a little more. Yeah. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like I'm saying, get into this routine. We'll touch back next week, see how things are going. All right, and first of all, get to your classes this week. All right, please, for me. At least get there. If you're not feeling it when you're there, then you reevaluate and stuff. All right. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right. I think it might be time for lunch yet. Oh God. 20 minutes and your phone blows up.